Today I will be reviewing the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro controller. Now, there's two versions. They have the Esports Green Edition and they also have the Tournament Edition. Now, this pad, yeah, man, this looks premium, and obviously this pad is over £100. So, you know, I had to get my hands on and try it out. Shout out to Razer for sending it to me. They have the mouse click back buttons. They have Hall effect thumbsticks and hyperspeed wireless, right? So we're gonna test it out and play. I'd say Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6 should do the job. Let me know if it's good or not. On the back, it says Hall effect precision thumbsticks, so anti-drift accuracy and customizable sensitivity, 4 mouse click back buttons and 2 claw grip bumpers, 6 remappable buttons to outplay them all. Razer Pro Hyper triggers, instant response with lightning fast mouse click triggers. And then you get a carrying case and a 10-foot cable, pro level customization for Xbox and PC via the Razer controller app. Right, so inside the box, you'll get the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro, a hyperspeed wireless 2.4 gigahertz USB Type A dongle, USB Type A to USB Type C dongle. All right, so let's see what is inside the box. Yes, so I need to open up this box. As you know, Razer always do black and green. That is their color scheme. So we're gonna open it up. You can see this nice protective case with the Razer logo on it. Let me open up and see what this pad is looking like. And it has the protective stuff over the analog. This controller looks pretty sick. Very green, but it looks sick. And the analogs look firm too. And you get a dongle. So the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro starts at $199.99, right? And this is like a pro performance control pad, as you can see. Snipe down, as the Wolverine V3 Pro is engineered for peak performance. Obviously, you get various different things that they're showing you. I'd say the main thing that people would want to use this for is shortcuts and setting up profiles, just so that, you know, you have extra buttons when you play games and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I think this control pad for a fighting game player, I think it's going to be very useful, especially the fact that you can actually do like stuff like this, where you can check and change the sensitivity and how you press certain things and stuff like that as well. I think that's going to be sick. Me personally, I just want to press buttons, but there's going to be people out there that want to change sensitivity and do things. So yeah, and you get a carry case as well with the USB, and you can change shoulder buttons and you have buttons at the back. So they compare the Razer Wolverine V3 models. As you can see, the weight is a bit more on the V3 Pro, but this is entirely up for you if you want to choose between each pad. So either way, I just want to test it out, to be fair. All of this stuff and reading, I don't want to read all of this stuff anymore. I want to test it out and show you.
Look at the pad, bro. Green. It's just got this strong green. Let's take off these to protect the analogs, but yes, we have, this is the Razer Wolverine version 3. Not been touched before. We're just gonna try it out. It comes with a USB. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try out Tekken and see what it's like. So the USB is green. Push it into the PC. There we go. Jeez. Too great with this D-pad. For most fighting games, usually. But it might actually work out. So is it connecting? I think what I might have to do is actually close the game and then open it back up again. As you can see, with this pad, you got buttons on the back that you can assign. So you got M6, M4, M3, and M5, right? And then you have the shoulder buttons, you have M1 and M2. I know there's a bit of plastic here that you are probably itching to say, why have you not taken it off? Let me take it off. There we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's go and practice. Let me show you what it's like. Well, let's try it. Let's try Mishima. Go. See what the Wave Dash is saying on this pad. Obviously, you got 2 analogs here. You got the Xbox layout system here. You know, you got the home button and stuff. Shoulder buttons you can assign. Just choose it on a nice light stage. And then you also have other things as well to keep it locked or unlocked. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, we're gonna focus on just the movement of the pad. I've always said, like, with this type of D-pad, this D-pad is kind of like favor of like, I'd say like games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Because like even now, like this is taking a while to get used to. So like characters that have movement, like Heihachi, Kazuya, and stuff. This will take a while. So as you can see, I'm struggled a bit at the start. To be fair, it's not a problem. Now we're getting the God Fist coming out. Like the backdashing will probably be a bit more difficult. You can hear that mechanic sound as well. The click, 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 click. You can definitely hear that. Now, yeah, movement-wise, this will probably take a while just because of the circular D-pad. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but it works. I would say it doesn't work with Mishima characters personally. But if I play like one of my characters, like let's say for example, I play Leroy and Lydia, the grip of it feels comfortable though. I'm not gonna lie, like it definitely just sits in my hand. Like this feels comfortable. So like, let's see for example. Yeah, now this feels comfortable. This feels way more comfortable than like PlayStation pad. For some reason, it's just like it just sits in your hand. I think the only issue is like obviously I think QCF motions it does feel different from the like usual PlayStation pad and stuff like that, but it will just take a little while to get used to, if I'll be honest. So there we go. Yeah, no, I feel like this is cool, to be fair. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, nah. Do you know what? I think compared to the usual PlayStation pad that people are kind of like, yeah, used to, or the Xbox pad, this is just a D-pad that's different, in my opinion. I know a lot of people favor the PlayStation pad when it comes to like fighting games and stuff like that, but I honestly feel like if you gave this some time, like maybe like a week and just practice it in, and if you like the circular face, like for me, personal preference, it wouldn't be the circular D-pad that I would like, but I would get used to it. And then on top of it, what I would say is that the way how it feels, the glossy button finish is nice as well. Like the extra buttons that you can assign is pretty I think it's sick. Just in case if like you need extra buttons to do stuff, it'll be sick to assign some buttons. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm gonna try out Street Fighter and see how, you know, the motion feels like in terms of that backdash and stuff. Obviously when you double backdash, you can hear the click sound, like 2 clicks. So it makes it pretty cool that you know that, okay, I've definitely pressed forward. Definitely press back. So let me try Dragunov then in that respect, because I'm hearing the clicks and the sounds. So if I press this and I hear 3 clicks, will I be getting like sick motion to do running 2, sorry. Yeah. Like, okay. It's taking a while to get used to, but there we go. There we go. You know what? It's a new type of skill to hear this sound. Like, because when you press on like a normal, like I use a PlayStation pad. When you hear it on that, it's like, oh, you can't really hear anything. There we go. There we go. Let me do it one more time. It's coming out, but again, like I said, I think for this, it'll take me a while to get used to. But no, this pad is very sick. I'm gonna try Street Fighter and see how that feels. Okay. Yeah, no, this seems cool. Okay. Okay. See. Yeah, I feel like this pad is better for Street Fighter in my opinion, compared to like both of them. This is way better. Okay. I'm trying to buy some and see what I feel. I feel the buttons, like I said, if I hold like a PlayStation controller together, if I hold them in my hands, like this feels way more comfortable, like way more comfortable. I don't know what it is. It's got this matte green finish that, and it's just a bit more, tad bit more chunkier on like the lower part, as you can see, right? So I've obviously got the sound jack as well if you want to have your headset in or anything like that. But yeah, it's night and day. I feel like this is way more comfortable just to sit in the hand. Yeah. This is definitely a Street Fighter controller, I'm not gonna lie. I like the clicking mechanic as well, like you could hear. And to be fair, like, alright, cool. So in tournaments as well, this is another thing. In tournaments, sometimes people press fake buttons. So like, look, I ain't got no buttons assigned yet. Do you get what I'm saying? No buttons have been assigned. But I could, do you know what I'm saying? Make it like, give me that. That will mess with someone's head in a pro, like in the esports or pro tournament side of things. I'm saying, yeah, this control pad's good. It's just, it takes a while to get used to. This is obviously my first trying it out. And yeah, you know, I've had a few hiccups here and there when I was playing like, you know, Tekken, because Tekken has more like movement based more than Street Fighter. But in terms of like getting out moves in this game, which is Street Fighter, it's a lot more easier to kind of maneuver. Yeah, this, I like how comfortable it is as well. Like comfortable, I would say that this is very, very comfortable pad.
All right, so let's go over what we can see with the Razer Synapse 4. So I know at the start when this pad came out, there was Razer Synapse 3. We are now on Razer Synapse 4. I had to refresh the page and now we can see the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. So here we go. So it's saying press this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, there we go. Nice. All right, so as you can see, here's the profile. You can see the customization. It's saying all the extra buttons are disabled. And then you got the left analog where it shows you the analog or digital. You can choose left trigger range, whether I want it to be like, you know, I can press it down loads, or if it's only a little bit, entirely up to you, right? This is like it's hard to press down, right? And it's the same thing over with the right trigger as well. Bump sticks, it's entirely up to you. Sensitivity, you can change it. You could do standard or circular, prevent double dead zones. Yeah, this is cold. Really, really cold. Then you got lightning as well. So brightness, you could change the effects to static, spectrum, cycling, or none. You could do slow, medium, and fast. Can't change the colors from what I'm seeing here. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, no, I don't think you can change the colors. It says static. You can change the Razer sign from being either these colors. It's entirely up to you. To be fair, I'd probably just go with yellow or white because it's a green pad. You could also change any, and you could add colors from the hex. There we go. Entirely up to you. You could change it up to whatever you want to change it. And then it says wireless power saving. You can turn off your device between 5, 15, 30, or 45 or 60 minutes. Calibration, up to you if you want to try and calibrate the left and right stick to see if everything is working smoothly. You can with the app. And then customize, again, like I said, with the buttons, if there's extra buttons you wanted to use, you can press and then choose what you want to change and stuff. So yeah, this is looking pretty sick, I can't lie. And then look, you can change to whatever you want the controller button to be. You just click, and then you change it to, let's say for example, if I want to press a button, I want to bind it to. This is function pad, new numpad. Yeah, so if I wanted to assign it to A, it would be like that. If I wanted to assign this one, let's say for example, this one, all I wanted to assign it to something else, I could assign it to Y, save, boom. And then all my buttons will be assigned. And it will save because it has onboard memory, which is pretty sick. So anytime I turn on control pad, it will have all of these saved already, which is sick. And then, you know, you got loads of these other stuff as well with the pad. If you want 4-way, in terms of like, you know, restrict the D-pad from up, down, left, right movements by disabling diagonal inputs. So, you know, if you're a Tekken player like myself, you would want to probably do this because then you can get the actual, you know, precise motion. And you know, if you press down forward like this, might be easier. Or you could do 8-way, which, you know, stuff like this happens. That's entirely up to you. But yeah, haptic intensity, adjust the vibration strength of your device. To be fair, I don't like the vibration being on the device, so I would turn it off in game. But yeah, this is how the app works when you're using the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro Esports Green Edition. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this pad is nice. I do feel like it is a tad bit clicky. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of clicky buttons. Not really a fan of it because, as you can hear, in fighting games and stuff like that, in tournaments, you can hear the sound and stuff like that. So, you know, you can obviously fake people into thinking different sounds if you use like the other buttons as well, which are added onto the pad. But yeah, but like if the buttons were more silent, it would be great for me. But I ain't gonna lie, this controller is very comfortable. Looks very nice. I like the way how it is. I like the fact that you've got like 6 extra buttons and it's got the onboard memory for the controller as well, so it does remember it, which is, that's sick. So yeah, I'm gonna list the goods stuff with it, and I feel like there's a lot of good things. So yeah, here's my verdict, and yeah, I hope you lot enjoy reviews like this. Remember to subscribe, it helps support the channel and it helps allow us to do reviews like this. If you lot leave comments and likes and stuff, you know, that stuff is appreciated too. We'll be on to the next video. Take it easy, everyone. Peace.